Is it even possible to be on time for work every day? I think it has a whole lot to do with your mind. Let's dig into that today. Anytime I think about being on time, I'm reminded of a group that I was running. This was teenagers. So I had a bunch of youth. They were referred through the juvenile court together with their parents to participate in a program that was intended to keep them out of a more secure placement. That's the context. As we were meeting together for this group, Susan was late. Susan shows up. She comes in a big old rush. We're already started with group. And she bursts in through the door and she says, and she's breathing heavy and everything. Oh, sorry I'm late, you guys. And she comes in and she sits down. All right, we've been going for maybe, 5 or 10 minutes at this point. Her mom trails in after her, not breathing as heavy because she didn't run in from the car, and comes in and quietly sits down next to Susan. Well, Susan wanted to apply for a level advancement in the group. To do this, she had to meet certain criteria, certain standards to get the level advancement. And so she raises her hand and she says, you guys, I want to advance to level 2. All right, one of the requirements for advancement to level 2 is that you're on time to every meeting. It was obvious to the whole group that she wasn't on time for this meeting. Luckily, someone in the group called her out on it. It wasn't even me. Somebody across the group from her said, Susan, you got to be on time to the meetings. You weren't on time today. So I don't think we can give you your level 2 advancement. Well, she almost comes unglued. As she comes back and explains to the group, it wasn't my fault. I couldn't get here on time because my mom had to work late and she was my ride. All right, let's just pause and back up for a minute so that you get a little more of the context. Susan is in the group because she's been referred by the juvenile court. Why was she referred by the court? Because she was found one state away joyriding without a license with some kids that her mom didn't even know. She's in the next state over. Mom didn't give her a ride to the next state over. Big surprise, right? What is she asking us to believe? That she can't get to group on time because her mom had to work late. Really? Mom let her know with plenty of advance notice that she was going to have to work late. Susan lives about 5 blocks from the office where we're holding the group. Do you think that her resourcefulness could get her to group on time? The reason I share this story with you is because we keep our commitments or we make up a story about it. I know that's going to sound a little harsh, but connect with that for a moment. Either you're going to keep your commitments or you're going to make up a story about it like Susan did. It's simply a story. Could she be there on time? Yes, she could. What would it take? It would take a little effort on her part, a little pre-planning. That's going to give us some insight into what we can do to be on time for work every day. So let's apply what we're learning. What if you were to take some time to really think about your commitments before you make them? If you're accepting a job, you're making a commitment. What is your commitment? And does it have anything to do with being there on time every day? I know, it depends on your job, and some are different than others. Think about that commitment before you make it. If you're not really willing to be on time to a job every day, why would you make that commitment in the first place? Oh, because I need the money. Yeah, right. I've heard that one a lot. Needing the money means that you need an upgrade in your life, means that you probably need to make some commitments differently. Okay, so you make this commitment to take the job. Take your commitment seriously, because either you're going to keep your commitment or you're going to make up a story about that. Some stories are true. Some stories are very compelling. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying it's a story. Because if you didn't keep your commitment, now you feel like you have to explain why you didn't keep your commitment, and that is a story. Even if it's a true story, it's still a story. So you might ask yourself beforehand, what could I do to keep my commitment? What would it take? When you take the time to think, then you can actually start to plan for the incidentals. I mean the stuff that could come up, right? Let's say that you've got an appointment, also known as a commitment, right? Why would you make an appointment if you didn't have a commitment to keep that appointment? You've got an appointment. It's across town at 3 o'clock. It normally takes, and I emphasize normally because there's no unforeseen things happening in a normal situation. It normally takes you 15 minutes to travel from your office to that appointment across town, or from your home to that commitment that you made on the other side of town. 15 minutes. Think that through for a minute. What does that 15 minutes include? Does it include walking from the room you're in right now out to your vehicle, or to the bus stop, or to the transit station? What does it include that time? Does it include the time getting off the train and walking into the office? Does it include the time parking your car and moving your body from the car to the place where you've made the commitment? I'm being painfully detailed about this because we don't always think about those things. Yeah, it'll take me 15 minutes to get there. What do you mean? Now, plan for the incidentals. What if there's a lot of traffic? Well, that's going to slow you down, right? What if you have to stop and run an errand on the way? Okay, that's fine. Plan for it. And then you plan backwards and work toward it. People are late for work, not because they can't make it on time. It's because they fail to plan to make it on time. I'm talking pretty directly with you because I think you can handle this. If you're having a hard time being late, people will start to doubt your commitment. And that's not who you are, is it? Plan for the incidentals. Now let's tie this into who you really are and what your ultimate commitment is. If you have a job and you're going to work every day and you're on time every day, what are you showing up for? Here's the last tip that I want to give you. Create more value than you consume. Make that commitment somewhere in your heart and mind to always create more value than you consume. Honestly, when I hire people, that's the first thing on my job description. When I'm looking for someone to fill a position, it's actually written in. Create more value than you consume. I want you to be a producer if you work for me. That's the only way it makes economic sense for me. Otherwise, you are consuming more value than you produce. You've heard the term "you suck." Yeah, that's what it means, because you suck resources. You're consuming more than you produce. If you show up late for work, you are consuming that company's resources. To produce more than you consume means that you make that commitment in your heart and mind, and it shows up everywhere, including showing up on time. Wow, I surprised myself a little bit with how directly I was talking to you about this, but I think we're friends, right? We can talk frankly and honestly. Let's keep our commitments. Will you commit to do that? I commit to be here again tomorrow. I'll see you then.
Standing in the street alone.